For decades, we've heard about the gender gap in science and engineering. We've poured resources into getting more women into coding, physics, and math. But did you know there is one massive scientific field where the gap is reversed? I'm talking about psychology. Right now, in the UK, roughly 80% of psychology students are women. In the US, the number of men getting psychology PhDs has plummeted by more than half since the 70s. We are witnessing a leaky pipeline in reverse, where men are disappearing from the study of the human mind. Why is this happening? Do men just not care about how the brain works? Or is something else pushing them away? Today we're looking at a brand new study that went straight to the source to find out. A team of researchers at Queen's University Belfast wanted to understand the moment this divide begins. They realized that by the time people get to university, the choice is already made. So they went upstream to high schools or post-primary schools in Northern Ireland. The researchers sat down with 64 young men, ages 16 to 18. These were guys at that critical crossroads, deciding what to study for their A-levels and what to do with their lives. Through 12 different focus groups, the scientists asked them, "What do you think about psychology? And would you ever consider it as a career?" They didn't just want numbers. They wanted to hear the raw perceptions, the stereotypes, and the honest reasons why these young men were or weren't signing up. The results were eye-opening, and they boiled down to a few major identity clashes. First, the soft science trap. Even though psychology is officially classified as a science, the young men in the study didn't see it that way. They described it as feminine and soft. To them, hard science was about objective facts, like chemistry or physics. Psychology, in their eyes, was about feelings and emotions, things they had been socialized to think of as non-masculine. Second, the role model vacuum. One phrase that kept coming up was, "You just don't see men doing it." Because most psychology teachers in schools and most therapists in the media are women, the guys felt like they were crashing a party where they weren't invited. They didn't see a version of themselves in the field. Third, helping versus earning. There was a weird perception that psychology is strictly about empathy and helping people talk, which many of the boys saw as a feminine trait. Meanwhile, they felt pressured to pursue careers with perceived high status or fact-based prestige. Essentially, they felt that choosing psychology might cost them their guy points. You might be thinking, so what? If women want to do psychology and men want to do engineering, why does it matter? Well, here's why it matters to you, your brothers, your fathers, and your sons. The psychological workforce is supposed to reflect the population it serves. If 80% of therapists and researchers are women, we risk developing mental health services that are accidentally tailored only for women. We know that men are often less likely to seek help for mental health. If a man walks into a clinic and sees 0 men on staff, or feels that the therapy style is built around feminine emotional norms that don't resonate with him, he's much more likely to walk back out the door. We need male psychologists to help design ways to reach men who are struggling. When we lose men in psychology, we lose the ability to help men everywhere. So, what's the takeaway? The study suggests we need a rebrand. We need to show young men that psychology isn't just feelings. It's neuroscience, it's data, it's sports performance, and it's forensic investigation. But more importantly, if you're a young man interested in how people tick, don't let a soft science stereotype stop you. Psychology needs your perspective. If we want a world where everyone can get the mental health support they need, we need to make sure the study of the mind is a place where everyone, men and women alike, feels they belong. Thanks for listening. If you found this interesting, check the link in the description to read the full study. See you in the next one.